All right. Hello, Michigan High School Esports League. This is Coach Tavian Anderson at Grandville High School, commentating with,
Elijah Churchill from Grandville High School.
and we are going to be commentating the match of Grandville High School versus Manistee High School in Week 5, the match of the week um, for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Varsity. Starting up, we are going to have Granville's Piranha Plant versus who was that there? Cap versus Manistee's Captain Falcon. So we'll mark that on the screen for you guys. Piranha Plant, Captain Falcon. What do you expect to see in this matchup going forward, knowing that you have experience playing against Mason, our Piranha Plant player? But how do
Um,
you feel like Piranha Plant's going to fare into a fast, hard-hitting character like Captain Falcon?
I think Mason's gonna find a way to adapt and overcome Falcon's speed and how hard he hits with what he usually does. Um, Lots of the spike ball, I'm gonna call it, and possibly the poison's lingering hitbox could help slow down Falcon a lot.
Yeah. You'll hear me refer to that spike ball that Elijah mentions as Patui. It's a very weird sounding word or move, but it is the official name for it. Patui, in particular, comes out very fast. The moment you hit that B button to bring up Patui, it comes out. So if you get hit while using that move, the spike ball will come out and still be able to fall and hit the person attacking you as Piranha Plant. So it's a very, very disruptive move. And some of these characters, like Captain Falcon, that don't really have projectiles or range, um, really enjoy dealing with it. But we are going to see firsthand how Manistee is going to adapt to this awkward character such as Piranha Plant.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this.
All right, Pokemon Stadium 2, a very standard stage to start on for these competitors, especially in high school and college, I've noticed. We have a grab offstage situation coming out right off the bat in favor of Granville here. What tools does Captain Falcon have to kind of keep from staying onto the stage and not getting into the blast zone by Piranha Plant here?
Well, first off, he's fast and he can recover quite quickly because his jump appears to be rather high.
Hmm.
And if timed right, his up B could definitely recover quick.
Yeah, as we see, Captain Falcon kind of getting a lot of percent and taking Piranha Plant off stage, inevitably leading to an up smash kill, and we're going to have the first stock taken by Manistee here, while we
Yeah.
try to see Piranha Plant recover on the side of Grandville. Ooh.
Ooh, the end leg on that one.
Yeah, looking probably assuming that his opponent was going to kind of just run and possibly whiff an attack into that Falcon Punch. It's happened more often than not, but we see Patui uh, connect here while Captain Falcon had like over 130 damage on him.
Yeah.
Patui might not be the strongest move in the world, but it can kill. So once you get to those higher percents, you really gotta be careful how you approach this plant. Oh, narrowly missing that down air, which would have been the end of that stock there for Mason. Just a small percent lead on the side of Manistee, but nothing too crazy. I think both of these characters have hard-hitting moves that can take each other's stocks out sooner than later. So probably not to worry too much on the side of Granville here, but we'll see what Manistee has in store for us.
Yeah. Ooh.
What can you tell us about that weird move that Piranha Plant keeps doing where it goes into the pot?
Um, I'm not really sure. I don't know a ton about Plant, but from the looks of things, it's to essentially looks like he's trying to bait Falcon into playing aggressively so that way he can punish it with a longer ranged attack.
Uh,
Or
yeah, that um is kind of mostly correct. That move puts Piranha Plant into its pot, and Piranha Plant actually gets super armor, so it can take a few hits while he's in that kind of form and while he's attacking out of that form. But he basically just charges up this weird extending kind of kill move that has a lot of range, and it can't really be interrupted by anything other than a grab. Um, While talking about that move, though, we actually got to see kills on both sides and a ton of percent getting racked up by Grandville's Piranha Plant
Yeah.
onto the side of um, Captain Falcon for Manistee. Whiffing moves right in front of his face, looking for that stomp, possible knee connection there, which could pack a big punch, possibly even kill, if close enough to the side of the stage.
Mhm.
Down B is going to miss. He's going to get stomped. Narrowly survives. Captain Falcon going for some super scary moves on the shield of Grandville. Piranha Plant's going to try and take some space, but get chased down by the Falcon kick. Looking for a couple of kill moves at the edge. Captain Falcon not going to get any of them to land and has to find a way back himself. Piranha Plant is quite the scary character to deal with when you're on the ledge, but if you're already at 179%, you probably don't care too much about how much percent's getting racked up with Poison Cloud.
Yeah.
Patui to try and cover stage get up there, and up B is going to kind of act as a command grab. You can't shield Captain Falcon's up B because it will just grab you and then inevitably do damage and possibly kill close enough to the stage. Super close here. Up B is gonna make it to the stage. Captain Falcon unfortunately gets swept to the bottom of the stage, and in this very very close last hit situation is going to fall to the bottom of the blast zone and give game one, but not the first point, over to Grandville. All right, I'm interested to see the kind of adaptations we see from Manistee going forward, and Grandville too. That game was quite close. I'm sure both players have a lot to think about as they decide their next stage. What do you expect to see coming out of stage bans from Grandville and stage picks from Manistee in this matchup?
So what I hear often in these matches is I often hear Town and City and Smashville immediately get banned by Granville players because we just don't like the stage, or
Hmm.
with size limits, it's gonna be some stages. Like I think Town and City is one of the smaller stages,
Town and City is one of the bigger
one
stages,
of the
but
bigger.
Smashville is one of the smaller.
Yeah.
Town and City is the one that has the three platforms that move around.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm thinking Mason's probably gonna do either Hollow Bastion and Smashville, or probably PS2 and Smashville, because Piranha Plant I feel like favors longer maps because of his range that he can pull off with Patui and just his down B, the pot.
Yes. So, yeah, you kind of explained the philosophy of like a zoner mentality when they decide stages, with mixed in with a little bit of comfort. Here at Granville, a lot of people like to get
Yeah.
rid of that town and city stage, but a lot of people at Granville also play at as these weird zoner or trap like characters like Piranha Plant. So, um, yeah, we don't really get many Captain Falcons. I know we have a Captain Falcon secondary here. He's not here today, unfortunately,
Hmm.
but not many Captain Falcons kind of come across our switches here in the lab.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch when he plays, because he may be annoying to play against, but man, do you feel like you're improving when you're actually able to take to stocks off his Falcon.
Yes, yes. Um, Going to kind of peer in. So game two, Granville has banned Battlefield and Smashville, and Town and City is going to be the stage of choice for Manistee's Captain Falcon. So we still have the same matchup going into this next game. And I think we are going to see a lot of similarities in playstyle to the last game, but I think this Captain Falcon might use these very high platforms to his advantage. Captain Falcon's very, very fast and can jump pretty high and far. So if Captain Falcon gets a lead and decides he doesn't want to interact with the spike ball or Piranha Plant's just weird properties of moves, then he might take to the sky and make Piranha Plant come to him, which Piranha Plant, weighed down by that heavy pot right there, isn't the fastest character in the world and kind of struggles at linear approaches, unlike the counterpart on the screen, Captain Falcon.
Yeah, that is something I've noticed playing up against Plant. Is it's really easy to get in close to him, but if you don't have a way to get out of there fast enough, you are almost dead. in the water sometimes.
Yeah, or at least bruised and battered. That poison cloud, that patooey, those down Bs all add up and rack up percent like no other.
Yeah,
Piranha Plant's kind of one of those characters that can hit you maybe 5 to 6 times in a stock, get a good read with a smash attack, and make you have to start over.
and it's brutal when it happens.
All right, going into this next game here, super even, 30%. Captain Falcon trying to get his combo started with up airs. Up air is a really, really nice fast aerial move that allows for extensive juggles. And depending on the opponent, he can turn maybe 2 to 3 up airs into a conversion into his forward air, which is a kind of a knee attack that has a sweet spot at the end and does considerable amount of knockback.
I did not know that about his knee.
Stomp does not get anything to converge out of that down air there. Super scary situation to be in, though. If Captain Falcon does connect a stomp on the ground like that, then he can connect almost any of his aerial moves that kill. Patooey snipe off the stage. What do you think is going on in the mind of this Captain Falcon at Manistee right now?
I think right now he's focused on trying to make sure that Patooey that he doesn't get hit by his Piranha Plant's down B and Patooey. He's not so much worried about the poison clouds because those mostly appear when he's close to ledge, but
Yeah.
he is definitely worried about Patooey and down B, as we've seen several times when he's attacking. He
Yeah.
will shield when he sees Plant retreat into the pot.
Exactly. Yeah, and we're even seeing him almost kind of adapt as he gets a crazy up air conversion, landing on that top platform there, and then getting an up smash to take that stock at super low percent. Probably a huge burst of momentum coming from this Captain Falcon, and I'm sure he feels very good about that. The match is not over though, because he still has to find a way back onto stage and get unscathed as he gets back onto stage. It's almost as if these characters are boxing with each other, and it's not something you often see in these matchups with Piranha Plant, where a lot of normals are coming out to kind of alleviate pressure. But Captain Falcon, being as fast as he is, makes it really hard for Piranha Plant to honestly set up and get into the advantageous positions he's used to being in. Missed down air is going to get punished by the back air, and he's going to get swept off stage and eat a back air with max rage. Captain Falcon's going to take that game at 2 stocks, and we have an even set going in. Or not going in, but in this first game. And the winner of this next game will be would mean that the team that won gets the first point of the series. So big, important game here. I wonder what Mason on the side of Grandville is thinking. Just a little insight for how these matches go if you are new to um, watching these streams of High School Super Smash Brothers through the Michigan High School Esports League. Um, each team picks 3 players to represent their team for a match, and every player has to play at least one best of 3 set against a player from the other team. When you win a set, you win a point for your team, and the team that gets points first to 3 wins. First to 3 points wins the entire set. Every player gets to play in the match at least once. If it comes to like a 3-1 or 3-2 situation, or a 2-1 or 2-2 situation, then you get to pick which one of your players previously gets to go in, and you kind of use all of the information that you've gathered and learned while watching them play. What do we see in the stage striking here? So this is what the Captain Falcon struck. We have Final Destination, Kalos Pokemon League, and Pokemon Stadium 2. Pokemon Stadium 2 is the stage that he lost on, so
Yeah.
he is allowed to ban that stage for free because the Piranha Plant had already won there and they played on game 1.
Yeah. It seems like, because I know Kalos is decently sized map. Looks like maybe he's trying to put him into a smaller stage.
And maybe that is exactly what he did there because Mason on the side of Granville has picked small battlefield.
Yeah,
So I don't think Mason wants this Captain Falcon to be able to run away.
yeah,
Which, makes a lot of sense. If you give a character as fast as Captain Falcon a bunch of space, then they actually get to be a little bit more comfortable when they're at distance against a character like Piranha Plant because they can just wait and pick their spots perfectly, um, waiting for Piranha Plant to use one of its very, very laggy moves. Because Piranha Plant may have fast moves, but it's a character with fast moves on a slow body and then decent end leg. So you kind of have to have a little bit of knowledge going up against him. What moves can you punish, and what moves are going to be the ones that are going to be a little bit more safe.
yeah.
I looks like Captain Falcon has pinpointed those moves out at the start of this match because we have a almost 90% lead right at the start of this game three.
uh
What do you think Granville's Piranha Plant has to do to win this match?
I think he's got to find a way to avoid literally anything Falcon could possibly throw at him aside from that, but definitely avoid grabs. Try not to use the more laggier moves in your moveset if you don't have to,
Hmm.
and avoid getting grabbed by Falcon because his throws are stupid.
Yeah, they can put you into some pretty precarious situations. Um, and right there, we have Granville's Piranha Plant striking back with that forward smash, super strong move. Oh, he even uses Patui to kind of cover himself at the ledge so he doesn't get down there. Very, very smart coming out of
Yeah,
Mason there. More Patui disruptions. It's kind of looking like Mason has found out the right spots to use Patui against this character.
yeah,
And it's now paying off because he started this game at such a deficit. He's brought it back to a lead now.
yeah. And uh, does Falcon Punch not have a super armor?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
Ganondorf's Warlock Punch does, but Falcon Punch is just slow and strong. That's it.
Much
Um,
like Byleth Downby. Or no,
yeah.
that gives you hyper armor.
So, um, while we were talking about that, Mason actually was able to find another KO onto this Captain Falcon and is now up almost an entire full stock. And the way he's moving almost seems as if he is completely confident he can win this match. It looks like he knows exactly what he needs to do to win, and he's ready to execute it.
Patui Poison is a nasty move when your
Yes,
opponent's at edge.
a masterclass at ledge trapping here, using all of the tools that Piranha Plant has in store, even using the stage to delay Patui landing on the ground near the edge just a little bit. Really, really impressive coming out. Captain Falcon has a mountain to climb, and unfortunately, Patui is going to knock him down, and Granville is going to go up one whole point in the series.
Those are really good matches coming out of Manistee and Grandville, and I have nothing else to say other than those were fun to watch and fun to commentate for.
Yes, GG. I
GG.
am interested to see what else Manistee has in their little pocket of players and characters.
As am I.
It looks like Granville is getting ready to send in their player Jiren. Jiren plays Pikachu and King Dedede. So, so yes, we have Jiren versus Caleb coming up soon. We will see the characters eventually. For now, can you tell us a little bit about Jiren as a player?
Jaren as a player is a man that is a guy that I respect a lot. I may get on my nerves with how he plays because he's a very, for lack of a better term, trappy player. He likes to try to get you to think that he's vulnerable to try to lure you in, and then he'll like pummel you into the ground. As I have had first-hand experience against his Pikachu, it is not fun to get caught in any of those moves that have a larger hitbox than you would expect.
Yes, he's also not afraid to go for the hard combos. He's not afraid to put himself in situations where he has to execute correctly because he is more or less confident in his ability to do what he needs to do to get his desired result. Desired result. He's one of the more analytical players, I would say, on Granville's roster and the entire Smash team. And he really came into his own, I would say, at the beginning of the season.
Hmm.
We are going to see the matchup of Pikachu versus Samus.
Ooh, this is gonna be interesting.
Now, Samus is a character that we at Grandville are not new to. Um, Actually, an aforementioned player that uses Captain Falcon, this is Samus is his main character. So our players at Grandville play against the Samus pretty regularly, and I'm interested to see how Manistee is going to differ and find a way to win these matches, even though Grandville has the experience. Oh, we're gonna get a immediate forward smash right off the bat from this Pikachu, giving Granville a slight lead. Neutral Air is gonna pop Samus up for a couple aerials to create a combo and rack the percent even more. How do you think Samus deals with such a quick and small character such as Pikachu?
Hmm. If I had to say, it's gonna try to be a grab most likely, because I know Samus grabs are pretty good, but if you compare them up with any of Samus's other moves, it's gonna be devastating. But if you cannot land that grab or any of your attacks on Pikachu or any other character, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, and you're already seeing kind of the beginning of that bad time as Jiren so patiently waited for the floatiness of Samus to land right into an up smash to take the first stock and put himself at a very, very desirable lead in this game one. Jiren's kind of swinging off the bat, keeping up the pressure, not really letting Samus breathe, not letting her charge up charge shot. You can see Samus every time she gets the opportunity, she's rolling or running to the corner just so she can kind of set up and alleviate some of the pressure, the nonstop pressure that Jiren is displaying. Oh wow! And Jiren confirms the spike thunder hitbox, but it actually misses the hitbox when the thunder lands on Pikachu and creates a big hit. It misses that and just straight up spikes the Samus, and she's unable to recover.
Yeah.
Oh, Samus cooking up something though. Using the down B, the tiny hitbox that she gets when she drops those bombs to kind of disrupt Pikachu a bit. It's so far been the most percent that she was able to rack on Pikachu in one instance. I'd like to see a little bit more of that, but I also would like to see Samus not be afraid to use her large moves. Pikachu may be super fast and hard to hit, but Samus actually has a lot of big moves that Pikachu can't really contest with. The only thing is Samus has to kind of use those moves at the right time and be very accurate with them.
Hmm.
Coming up on a three stock opportunity, we are not going to get it. An up B does not hit the stage in the way that I believe Jiren wanted to. He was stuck in a ton of end leg, and Samus with a very strong dash attack finishes that stock out.
Hmm.
Unfazed though, Jiren went swinging right again and is just really looking for this kill opportunity. Rolls back, gets an up tilt. I wonder if that could have been an up smash to finish. Looking for the up smash that time, but gets the wrong side. Oh wow. Almost trying to put the Samus in a frame trap as Jiren is constantly forcing him up, down, to the side, and he's going to hit that forward smash and finish the stock with two to spare and go up game one in this second set. Do we, if this is not a one trick Samus, do you think we're going to see a character swap possibly? It didn't quite look like the Samus got a grasp on how to win the matchup.
Yeah, I think I'm guessing here, but I do think that this might be someone who picked up Samus rather recently. Which, no offense, but I've seen what a Samus who looks like they've been playing for a good time. They look like they've picked him up recently and are learning. So
Oh,
they're more than likely going to switch to character, which it appears
gotcha.
that they have.
Yeah, maybe you're right. We're seeing now Manistee's player is picked Zelda, which is kind of a much different character than Samus, though they have some similarities. Zelda's going to be more of a if Samus is like a zoner with straightforward projectiles, and Zelda's like a zoner that traps people into bad situations. So we're gonna see the Zelda probably use a lot of those tricks that we saw Granville's Piranha Plant player use in order to put someone in an unfavorable position and land a big hit for a KO.
Yeah, more than likely.
In this matchup, though, I do think that Pikachu fares well. Pikachu being as fast as he is gives him an edge on these characters because he gets to reposition very fast. Even if he's in like a really bad spot where he's all the way up in the air, has no jumps, he still has a down B that is literally called Quick Attack. It gets him quickly out of anywhere he needs to be or gets him quickly into an approach onto an unsuspecting zoner character, kind of like Zelda.
Yeah, and we've seen the pressure Jiren can keep on people with Pikachu. It is insane. And it looks like he's already started to put that pressure on.
Yes, pressure's already on, but we actually see the Neighbor's Win get used to alleviate some of that pressure right away. May still be at a percent deficit, but I don't think that that's too uncomfortable as Pikachu is a very light character, and one of those lightning kicks that these Zelda players are really good at landing can just kind of eliminate a stock at early as 60 to 70%. Zelda's going for grabs, I'm noticing. I believe that the Zelda player is playing a lot more scrappy. Um, she's not keeping herself at distance as much as she was trying to as Samus, and it's seeming to pay off a little bit more. Now that she's aggressed successfully and have gotten hits and took stage control, she's been able to actually use these slow trapping moves or her projectiles. Jiren does find a way out of that pressure and starts a little bit of his own. He does have a high percent lead and is probably just looking for a smash attack to end this first stock. Down throw on Zelda, looks for a lightning kick, only gets the sour spot, sadly. Downer is going to connect. No thunder this time. Charges up a forward smash, but it is not in the right spot. Zelda's going to get away from that and kind of look for a way
Ooh.
to finish Pikachu's kill. Thunder coming from the sky straight down onto Pikachu is going to finish Zelda's first stock here, and ups air by Zelda is going to finish Pikachu. So we have a fully even game. So it doesn't look like these percent leads matter too much with these characters.
Mm-mm.
It sounds like they're going to just figure out how to kill each other, no matter what it takes here. Boxing, kind of using Pikachu's more ranged moves, I believe is really smart here because Pikachu may be faster than Zelda, but Zelda has slightly better range. But if you put yourself in the right spot and use some of Pikachu's bigger moves, then it actually is pressuring Zelda from outside of her threat range. Super smart by Jiren here.
Yeah.
What do you know about that little soldier she keeps summoning?
I know. So the Phantom, her side B, it takes a second to charge, but when it does get fully charged, it hits like a semi truck going 60 on a highway. In other words, it hits hard.
Yes. Another thing that hits hard is Pikachu's forward smash there, taking stock Zelda's second stock and building a considerable percent in stock lead here. I wanted to ask right before that happened though, how is one to deal with a move like the Phantom?
Um, I'd recommend since it has a decent range, but if you know where its ends, and it can I think be interrupted. Like while Zelda's charging, if you're able to do like a move like Corrin's pin kick into her, it
Mhm.
will stop her from building it up and charging it.
Yeah, so if you hit her while she's casting the move, but before she lets it out, it'll cancel it. Yes, that is a way that these fast characters probably give her a hard time. That being said, Zelda finds a kill on Pikachu's second stock, and we're even in stocks. Zelda just has a little more percent, but I'm wondering if the Zelda is up to the task of bringing it back and winning this game.
Yeah.
Sour Spot on that forward smash is going to hit and not kill. Sweet Spot hits there, but still not enough. Possibly one more close to the side of the stage will do it, but we're not there just yet. Ooh, he uses the Nehru's Wind to reflect the thunder and actually have Pikachu hit himself there. But
Oh, Ferrar's. I think it's Ferrar's wind is her up B and
Ne-
Nehru's love is her down
Nehru's
B.
Love. Oh yeah, I'm saying Nehru's Wind, aren't
Yeah.
I?
A
Yes.
Ferrar's wind in an unlucky Ferrar's wind into Pikachu's forward smash is going to end that match
End
there.
that match, and we are at 2-0 on the side of Grandville versus Manistee. Manistee is going to have to win this game no matter what if they want to stay in, and then win the next two games while having a counter pick disadvantage. So scary stuff on the side of Granville as we have Granville's captain, Keat, coming up and locking in a character he has not played officially yet, Rosalina. Must be a little passion project on the side of Keat here, but Manistee is going to send in their player, and that player has chosen Terry.
Ooh,
So here
this.
is a matchup that I personally have never seen.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is gonna be interesting because I don't know much about Terry. All I know is that Rosalina, if Luma actually decides to do something, will have a good shot at dealing some big damage.
Yeah, so Terry being one of the newest characters in the game of the DLC pack, and Rosalina being a character almost forgotten about at the beginning of this game's lifespan, as she um, wasn't as good as she was in the previous title, and a lot of the players ended up moving on to other characters that came out in Ultimate. So we don't have a lot of Rosalina representation, and not a lot of people have seen her, and we may have a lot of Terry representation, but Terry was not in the previous Smash game, which means that this is a matchup probably not a lot of people have seen either. I'm wondering um, how Terry moves, the property on Terry's moves, how they deal with Luma, and if Luma will be an issue for him, or if Luma will just kind of get caught up in his attacks and combos and die with Rosalina. So we are on Pokemon Stadium 2 for this third match in Grandville versus Manistee starting out. I believe every single game has started on Pokemon Stadium um, this match, and that's, not very abnormal. Uh, First strike here is going to be Terry with a grab. Luma is going to help get Rosalina out of the conversion, though, and Rosalina is going to aggress herself just a bit. Using a lot of dash attacks. Very, very fast move, very large move, and it knocks them up in that perfect spot area of the stage just for Rosalina to get her favorite move, that up air. That up air is so fast, it's so misleadingly strong, and it was even stronger in the game before. Key is kind of using Rosalina to box out Terry just a little bit, using Luma to extend the hitboxes just a bit, and kind of waiting for Terry to do a move and then whiff punish it directly after. That little dashing punch, which I believe is side B, is going to miss and will allow Keat to get a grab. But
Oh,
jab, power geyser, damage geyser, whatever it's called, is going to take out that stock so early. Um, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Terry, when Terry gets to a certain threshold, he gets this thing that says "go" on his that pops up on his face by his percent, and that does not go away until he loses his stock. While he has that up, he gets to do these kind of super versions of the moves that he's been using normally. Unfortunately, doesn't find his way back to the stage, and we're going to have an even stock match right now with Rosalina gaining the first advantage state. Terry will find his way out as Luma is kind of lingering on the side, gets recalled back, and a dash attack will miss into a jab jab power dunk. The bread and butter for all of these Terry players that you'll end up seeing.
yeah, and it's not fun getting caught in that full combo.
No, it's a lot of damage, and it seems like it just will do a lot of damage until it inevitably ends your stock, and it's something you know you have to be very careful about being near Terry's jab range.
Hmm.
Using Luma to kind of linger right near the edge to get an edge guard, but
Oh,
unfortunately Terry finds his way back, and another Power Geyser is going to take Keat's second stock.
this Terry definitely looks like he knows what he's doing with his character.
Yes, I feel like he's been struggling in the pure neutral part of the match with Keat, but when it gets down to these kill percents, he knows exactly what he has to do to take a stock, and he goes for it every time.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, very scary kind of player to have to play against, especially if you're someone who likes to keep the match in control, and that's definitely the kind of player that I would clock Keat to be.
Hmm.
Keat is normally known for playing Wii Fit Trainer and almost exclusively wins all of his games by taking control of the stage. So, kind of playing a character he's a little less familiar with and just being threatened by kill moves is going to be difficult for him, and he's going to get hit by a jab jab side B, and it's going to take his stock. So some thinking is going to have to be done on the side of Grandville here. Will we keep this Rosalina, or will we switch back to something that we know? Checking out the character selections now, it looks like we're going to have the Wii Fit trainer that we were all waiting for.
Keith Wii Fit is mean if you don't know what you're doing against Wii Fit.
Currently waiting for stage strikes here. What do you think Terry would ban against Wii Fit trainer?
I think stages that are larger, so like Kalos, Town and City was the
Hmm.
large one.
Yep.
In favor, I think he's gonna ban larger stages in favor of small ones where he's able to get in really quick and do his combo as well. Also making sure it's harder for Keat to take control.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I feel like he is going to want to get rid of stages like Kalos and Town and City. Those will probably be the ones we see, or Final Destination possibly too. Although Wii Fit's been known to utilize platforms, um, so we will see. I know Terry does like FD too. These fighting game, like traditional fighting game characters on the Smash roster, love these flat stages where they can just do all of their combos, no interruptions, and end stocks. So sometimes it can be a double-edged sword when they want to go to FD, when their zoner opponent also wants to go to FD. It kind of comes down to who is more prepared to fight the other person's character.
Yeah.
We're going to see Kalos Pokemon League though, in this Terry versus Wii Fit Trainer matchup.
Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. Kalos is mostly flat, but it's got those two platforms over on the far sides of the stage.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and those platforms almost act as tools for characters like Wii Fit to utilize when they're recovering off the stage. Um, Deep breathing right off the bat is going to come out, but jab jab power dunk right off the bat on the side of Terry is going to kind of give a 50% lead to the side of Manistee. Um, when I watch Keat play, and I notice when he takes damage and when he kind of goes on the aggressive, he doesn't really care too much about the damage. He only cares when it ends his stock prematurely. But
yeah,
Wii Fit has deep breathing, which allows for a little bit of healing, and then every single time that she casts her Sun Salutation move, also gets a little healing coming back from that too. So Wii Fit's almost like this weird sustain character. She has very, very awkward hitboxes. Um, if she has a limb extended from any of her moves, no matter where it is, it will hit you.
oh,
um,
that
it
explains
does.
a lot.
Yes, it does. They all have hitboxes just from down from her fingertips to her toes. They're all threats.
All her extremities.
Super high percent, 70%. Power Geyser is going to land on the shield, and Terry's going to be at 114. Terry could die to a Sun Salutation close to the stage, but is going to box Wii Fit out and get the jab jab side B and finish the stock there. Combo opportunity started. We had a down throw nair, jab jab power dunk. The power dunk unfortunately misses. Sun Salutation will miss there, but then we get a back hit of forward air into the forward tilt, and we're just constantly poking the Terry off the stage. Power dunks in the wrong
Oh,
direction and loses stock. Wasn't supposed to die there, I'm sure, but
as a
he
card,
already had the lead. I can't imagine he was too disappointed.
yeah. As a Corrin player, I know that feeling of mistiming your up B or any of those other moves and having them facing the wrong way. It feels awful.
Yes. But when you are in, an official match like this, you just kind of have to shake it off and, do what you can control to try and win the game. He still does have a lead despite what happened, but We Fit now is just taking it away. Kind of just blow for blow. It seems like these players are going. Not a lot of combos happening really, unless it's a kill move from Terry, but just almost as if they're boxing each other. Scary situation for Terry. Makes it back, but does not have to deal with deep breathing We Fit because side B is going to kind of handle that stock.
Yeah.
Deep breathing forward tilt would have killed if it was aiming at the other direction, but sadly he was on the entire other side of the stage. Closer to the side, he'll get another one. Doesn't have deep breathing. Oh, it did have deep breathing actually, so it was almost an execution. Little jab combo coming from Terry. Keat will respond back with a Sun Salutation. It'll land, and he'll gain some stage control off it. Turns his grab around, probably an accident, but that unfortunately led him to getting hit. But he's back into stage control, and is just kind of looking to keep Terry off the stage, keep him having to come back using all these resources, so he doesn't have to deal with them on stage.
Yeah.
Past 100 though, the go meter is on deck, and only probably a few percent away from being in kill percent is Keat with We Fit. Jab, jab, side B, gonna take him to the blast zone. About any of Terry's super moves will kill at this point, but most of Keat's killing moves will kill now too with deep breathing on. Terry has to not get hit by any of these projectiles off stage. Gets sent straight up by the forward tilt. Coming down. Oh, it's so scary. It's like last hit, but the percents are so heavily skewed from one side to the other. Both players have to play perfectly. Side B is not going to land, but it's not going to get punished in a meaningful way. Soccer ball's going to hit, but everything's... Oh, forward tilt. The back of the forward tilt is going to send Terry straight up, and we have an even set and match point for Grandville.
I see what you mean by those hitboxes. We Fit's hitboxes, there are very few hitboxes in this game I would describe as disgusting, but We Fit's are definitely one of them.
Yes, no matter where she is, if she's extending her hitbox out in a move, it probably has some sort of a damage property somewhere. And we're seeing that the back hit of her forward tilt, her foot during her forward air when she's putting her fist in the air, all sides of her body have some sort of threat level to them, and they, must be respected at all times if you're to defeat her.
Yeah.
Grandville is going to lock in We Fit Trainer, and Manistee will lock in Terry. So we are going to the same matchup, Game 3, match point on the side of Grandville.
I'm excited to see how this is go. That was a really close match. It was close to being anyone's game.
Yes. When it comes to striking stages, the consistency that the consistent stage that gets struck here that we've talked about earlier has been Town City and Smashville. I'm wondering if that was the case again, as we are going to Small Battlefield.
A stage that's Small Battlefield's a stage that's set up somewhat similarly to the previous one, in the sense that it only has two platforms, but these platforms are more towards the middle, meaning either Terry or We Fit is gonna have a bit more of an advantage on the stage.
Yes, there is a lot less surface area on the floor of this map. So the platforms may be in the same spot as they were from PS2, but you almost play this map completely differently because you don't have a lot of room to work with. And when you're a character like We Fit that thrives with stage control, it kind of is unfortunate sometimes when the stage is so small because it's just you're just inches away from losing all the control that you've been building up. But Keat is so far playing flawlessly. He has not been touched by this Terry yet, and Terry isn't go meter. Power Dunk's going to be the first attack that Terry ends up hitting, and now Terry has stage control and is ready to um, put the percents back in order. Missed Power Geyser, but will lead to a jab jab side B. Soccer Ball is going to catch the jump on the Terry. Key has been really, really on point with his, like, I don't know what to call them. I've been referring to them as micro reads, where he just thinks someone might jump on the other side of the stage, and he'll put a soccer ball there, and it'll hit. And it's, kind of amazing to see that these players can still put their own ideas and personality into these characters that have been played for years.
It's almost like he has the ability to see partially like 2 seconds into the future almost.
Maybe. Jab jab power dunk still not going to take the stock, and we still have the stock lead on the side of Grandville, and it is going to build as Keith throws Terry back off the stage, and Terry has to try and
Ooh.
recover. Almost puts himself in a precarious situation going low with that side B, but makes it back anyway, but still has to deal with this stage control monster Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah. I never thought Wii Fit could be quite so terrifying until I see Wii Fit on small battlefield. This is a slaughter essentially.
Yeah, it's looking rough, but we've seen Terry bridge gaps like this before, and it would be foolish of anyone involved to count this character and this player out right now.
Yeah.
That being said, I believe Keat has that fully in mind as he's not letting up on any of the offense. Comboing his soccer ball into a sun salutation is going to put Terry at an awful spot off the stage. Terry makes it back, gets a jab jab power dunk, but it still is not KOing here. Almost frustrating to be in this situation as he has an entire Mount Everest to climb, and Wii Fit is just kind of throwing soccer balls everywhere you want to be, looking for kill moves, gets a forward tilt, and it's going to KO. 3 stock to finish this set, Grandville versus Manistee. Wow. All together, how do you feel about this set? It ended up being a 3-0, but there's the sets in between, though. All pretty interesting.
Yeah. If I have to put any noticeable moments out, I have two. I have uh, Mason's game against that Falcon player. That was wonderful watching everyone adapt to the other person's play style and have to figure out how to get an advantage on the stage and such.
Hmm.
And then this one is the other one. This whole match where it was that first game was interesting because it was nice seeing all of Terry's moves. I'm not familiar with him, so it was interesting seeing that. And then watching how Keat dealt with Terry's everything when Wii Fit, and seeing how terrifying Wii Fit can be when it's being played by someone who is really good as Wii Fit.
Yeah, watching him adapt from losing game one with a completely different character to now winning the set, ending it with a 3 stock, just kind of goes to show when you kind of master the art of adaptation in a game like Super Smash Brothers, how beneficial it can be to just see an opportunity, take it, and get rewarded with a stock. And then you just have this lead, you have all this buffer, all this room for error. But then to still know you have all this room for error and still play consistently perfect kind of shows, why Keat's kind of at the top of his team at his school, and, hopefully going for, the gold
Yeah,
at
and
the end.
that was a lot of fun commentating on these games with you, Coach. And
Yep, that is all we are gonna have. This was the Michigan High School Esports League Week 5, streamed by Grandville High School. Grandville is going to win over Manistee High 3-0, and we will see you over on the stream next week for the next match of the week. Whoever that might be, it might not be us. But if
yeah,
you liked us, let us know. You can subscribe to Granville High Esports on YouTube to see all of our matches for Smash and Marvel Rivals this season. But
yeah.
thank you everyone for watching. Thank you,